It's a birding live eye. Yes, we're talking about all things bird watching here in Vancouver. We're going to learn about the Sibley Guide of Birds, and we're at the Nature House here at Stanley Park on Lost Lagoon. Get ready. It's birding week starting May 3rd right here in Vancouver. We'll learn all about migratory birds coming up. You know it, guys. Dream come true. Yes, we're celebrating Birding Week, which gets going on Saturday here in Vancouver. But right now, we're at the Nature House at Stanley Park on Lost Lagoon. Robin, people tell me, they ask why I bird watch. What do you do? And I say, I basically just observe birds. But for people that don't know what bird watching is, can you sum it up in a nutshell?
For me, it's a lifelong scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
You've got your book, your guide of different birds, and you have your binoculars, and you search around and try and find new birds and identify birds that are moving through on migration or are wintering here.
And for me, I find it such a non-invasive hobby because all you're doing is essentially, observing a bird, identifying it, learning about its behavior and its habitat, and then when it flies away, you basically just move on. You're not really pursuing it or disturbing any habitat or anything like that, right?
Yeah, there's some ethics around birding. You don't want to get too close, or you can tell when you're disturbing a bird, they start getting nervous, but if they're acting normally, then you know that you're watching them the right way.
All right, so we've got Birding Week coming up on Saturday here in Vancouver, so the birders will all be delighting all over the city. What kind of work do you guys do here at the Nature House at Stanley Park in terms of helping create awareness about the birds in our city?
Well, we educate the public, we have walks and programs, but we also do some restoration and conservation activities. We have our nest boxes that volunteers help to build.
Yeah.
And we've put those out in the Lost Lagoon for migratory tree swallows and other birds that might use them. And we also have these floating logs for birds to rest on.
It's a beautiful habitat here for them, and yeah, you see the nest boxes there. There are actually tree swallows nesting in there. Milan, I don't know if you can get a shot of this, but from the guidebook, this is the bird that is nesting in that box right now, tree swallow. We had it a little earlier. It flew away to go do some morning feeding, but guys, hopefully we'll get a shot of that, plus more birds coming up here at the Nature House at Stanley Park. We're learning about all things bird watching. Shh, I'm bird watching. Yeah, we're here at Lost Lagoon, you guys, at Stanley Park. Coming up, we are going to be learning about Bird Week, which gets going on Saturday, and your chance to vote for your favorite city bird. Stick around, don't go anywhere. We are birding all morning long. You guys, look at this, tree swallows, and they're calling here at the Nature House on Lost Lagoon, Stanley Park. Beautiful stuff. Live birds. How do you like that? And we're celebrating Bird Week, which gets going on Saturday. Dan, you're an expert when it comes to Bird Week. Tell us what that's all about. What does that encompass? First of all, let's appreciate the glory of the tree swallows.
Of course, the tree swallows are magnificent. But yeah, we're celebrating all things bird. Starting on Saturday, May 3rd, we have our opening event.
Okay.
And we're going to do some speeches and all that kind of thing. And then we've got our walk with our Robin Worcester. And we're going to have art exhibitions all over Vancouver. There's an event every day from May 3rd to May 10th. We've got our big library events, May 5th, May 9th, May 10th. A popular one last year was Crow Night. So we've got our honorary city bird, the crow from 2014. So if you want to hear more about crows with Rob Butler on May 9th, you should come out to that.
Okay.
The Central Library.
Rob Butler's a good guy. Thank you for the pin. Now that is the 2014 bird, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a lot of birds actually going around where we are right now. You can hear song sparrows calling.
Oh, yeah.
There are yellow-rumped warblers feeding and all kinds of great birds. But this is a great migratory bird time of year. Mm-hmm. Now let's talk about this, because this is Vancouver's city bird. You now have a chance to vote. Of these 6, what is your favorite city bird, correct?
Yeah, that's right. So we've got our 6 resident birds that we picked for this year, and we're going to choose different birds every year, but these are the 6 for this year. They've got great personalities on Twitter if you're following them.
They do.
They're fantastic to follow.
The Anna's hummingbird has the lead right now. That Pacific wren is very cheeky. My money is still on the northern flicker. I love the urban woodpecker. I find they have such great personality, and they're great backyard birds. But yeah, go to the website, get your vote on for the your favorite city bird. There's 6 of them to choose from, and these are year-round residents of Vancouver as well, right?
That's right, yeah. So they're here all year round. So in future years, we might do some other kinds of birds, migratory birds, but this year, it's resident birds.
Love it! All right, Michelle, the tree swallows have taken off, and they're almost as pretty as you.
Oh, no barn swallows where you're at this morning there, Thor?
There were 2 barn swallows earlier. I thought of you.
That's my favorite bird.
We are celebrating Bird Week right now, which begins on Saturday. So we are at Lost Lagoon here at lovely Stanley Park. Robin, you are with us right now, and let me just juggle this around here. We were talking earlier about the migratory birds and the resident birds that are in the area, and there are a lot of birds that pass through. Those are migratory birds, right? Explain what that is for people that don't know.
I think a lot of the migratory birds come from down south, southern United States, Mexico, and even South America, and then they migrate through Vancouver and the Fraser Delta on their way north to breed. So we have a lot of migrants passing through, and then some of them actually come here to breed, so we'll have some stay around and have babies here.
Yeah, and speaking of migratory birds that have babies, one of those species is the tree swallow, right?
Yeah.
So earlier we had some footage of the nest box that you guys have, one of many here at Lost Lagoon, and we did have a little guy poking his head out. So the tree swallows seem to be doing very well nesting here, right?
Yeah, tree swallows are cavity nesters, so traditionally they'd nest in dead trees, but since there's not as many of those around, we put up the nest boxes to give them some extra habitat.
Yeah, and we had a beautiful pair as well sitting on the branches earlier too. Beautiful plumage. Just one of many swallow species you get here. And then we had some wood ducks too that you can see all around here. But those are more of an introduced bird. They're not native to this area, are they?
The wood ducks, actually they're from here.
They are,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, they're also a cavity nester. So we have nest boxes for them up at Beaver Lake. So they actually nest in boxes as well. It's one of a strange duck that actually does that.
Yeah, and they have that whistling call. You can hear them all over the place. Okay, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Dan, I just want to mention about Bird Week, which starts on Saturday, and what are some of the great events going on around town for birders?
Yeah, we've got some great events at the Central Library on May 5th, 9th, and 10th. We've got our opening on May 3rd, and we actually have some great walks lined up all over Vancouver on May 10th in the morning. So you want to check the website to see that, vancouver.ca/birdweek. And we've got our big closing with Dick Cannings on May 10th in the evening at Central Library. And we're going to announce the City Bird.
Excellent. Yeah, get your vote on for the City Bird. My vote's on the Flickr. Dick Canning's a good friend of my family as well. He's a good guy. And David Sibley is at the Vancouver Public Library talking about his book tonight. It's very busy. Registration is full at the moment, so if you're lucky enough to get to that, you guys, you're in for a treat. Don't forget, pick a good field guide if you want to get into bird watching. Yeah, OLN, here I come. All right, guys. You know what? Some people have hobbies like rock climbing or cycling. I bird watch, and it's Bird Week coming up on Saturday. We're learning about bird watching tips and some of the activities. We're at Lost Lagoon, Stanley Park. Robin, if people want to get into bird watching, what's the first thing that they should do?
Well, you definitely need some binoculars,
Yes.
good binoculars, and a good field guide, like a Sibley guide is a good choice.
Get the binocs, as we call them in the industry. This is the brand new Sibley guide. It's beautiful. I'll just show some of that to you there. Wonderful illustrations. He's actually doing a very crowded talk tonight at the Vancouver Public Library. I like the National Geographic field guide. That's good as well. And we're also talking about conservation, because bird watching, it's a pretty non-invasive hobby. You're just out there in nature observing the birds. But the whole point of the Bird Week and the City Bird Contest that we're going to talk with Dan in a minute about is about that balance between conservation and bird watching.
That's right. So we have that celebration for birds, but we also have to protect their habitat and learn more about conserving species. So in Stanley Park, for example, we're restoring habitat, putting up nest boxes, and also doing public education to get people more aware so that they can go back home and do some activities in their backyard. And we're working with the City of Vancouver to come up with some strategies around that as well.
So this little corner of Lost Lagoon where the bridge is kind of like fenced off, and this is a conservation area here, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a sensitive riparian area that's important for birds, and it used to be covered in invasive blackberry. So we've actually we've transplanted out the blackberry and put in some native species, and so this is an attempt to increase the bird diversity in this area.
Milan, there's some beautiful wood ducks on the other side there, right under that bench. If you can grab those, I don't know, buddy. It's always good to get live birds because they're unpredictable. Thank you, Robin. Excellent. Dan, come on in and let's talk about some of the things happening for Bird Week in Vancouver, which starts on Saturday.
Yeah, we've got our opening on May 3rd. It's going to be a great little walk and some speeches and all that stuff. We're going to have some hummingbird banding.
Ooh.
Actually, we've got some great presentations on May 5th, 9th, and 10th at the Central Library, and we're going to be selling the Sibley book, and the proceeds will go towards Stanley Park Ecology Society. So
Great.
It would be great if you can come out, and we've got walks organized by Nature Vancouver on May 10th in the morning. So check all that out on vancouver.ca/birdweek.
All right, thanks a lot, Dan. Had a blast today, you guys, and don't forget, get to the website and vote for your favorite city bird. My money's on the Northern Flicker. Love that little guy. Back to you, Jody and Riaz.
Northern Flicker.
All I'm going to remember is binocs.